Hey guys, what a wonderful Saturday morning, afternoon, wherever you're at. I just wanted to, this is More Than Sports. I just wanted to say hello. I'm doing this video today. I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible, but everybody's inner nerds is going to come out today. Comic book nerds, movie nerd. Everybody's a nerd is going to come out of them today because I had a few people on Twitter that were hitting me up direct messages saying I should do a video on this or whatever because I'm a big fan. This is going to be over the DC Cinematic Universe. What I thought was wrong with it and why it was a complete mess. Why it will not be on Marvel's level until they change a few things. But like I said, I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible. It might be a longer video, but if y'all want to subscribe though, it's free. I'm trying to build my channel up. AKMore08 is Twitter and Instagram. Hit me up if y'all have any requests on videos, or if y'all want me to respond to y'all's opinions. I can make some response videos and everything like that. Just let me know. Talk to me. Have a conversation about if you liking the content, anything like that. And give me some criticism. I'm open to criticism or some tweaks. Like I said, I don't have an official setup yet, and I'm not all tech savvy, so I would like to edit my videos to make them more professional and more like these other YouTubers that you see doing reviews and putting clips up and stuff like that and things like that. I'm gonna get better at it as we go. I'm also gonna hopefully take some classes on stuff like this or whatever. But DC, I'm gonna go right into it. The cinematic universe compared to Marvel has been absolutely trash. They will never touch them. It's been a mess. Now, not saying I absolutely hate everything of it. Just it's been a mess. The three movies I liked in the DC universe that I will rewatch no matter what are Man of Steel, Joker, and Wonder Woman. Aquaman is very close on there, but it's you got to be in that kind of mood for Aquaman or whatever, his movie or whatever. I loved all the casting choices for all the Justice League members to start this off in Man of Steel. The Christopher Nolan Batman series is its own thing. That was Christopher Nolan's genius directing. That was a genius Batman trilogy. It was just hands down. Dark Knight was still the best superhero movie of all time. No one can say differently. The Dark Knight, it doesn't matter if it's Marvel fans, it doesn't matter if it's anything that Marvel's put out right now. The Dark Knight is still the best superhero movie of all time. Hands down. It doesn't matter about money made, it's the best in everyone's opinion, in everyone's mind, in everyone in the box office, and it is. That being said, okay, that was its own thing. DC, the casting choices they made for the Justice League members, fantastic. They were great, except I'm not sold on Ezra Miller. If you were going to do all the Justice League cast, you should have had the original Justice League members, and you should have had Batman, should have had Superman, should have had Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Martian Manhunter, Cyborg, Flash, maybe Hawk Girl if you want to, but if not Hawk Girl, Green Lantern for sure, and not the damn Hal Jordan version. Everybody that's always saying, oh, they should have done a better version of Hal Jordan. The Ryan Reynolds movie for Hal Jordan was absolute crap. It was trash. Yes, it was. It was absolutely atrocious. It was terrible. Jon Stewart is, in my opinion, my favorite Green Lantern. He always has been. Hal Jordan's good, and he's got his own thing going for him, but Jon Stewart is my Green Lantern. You should have done a Green Lantern with Jon Stewart, whatever. And the perfect casting choices before Marvel picked him up, it would have been Idris Elba. Before Marvel, I'm sorry, he didn't get picked up by Marvel, but Michael B. Jordan is who I was going to say is another one. A young Jon Stewart. Make him a young Jon Stewart. And go for it with him or whatever. But Marvel scooped him up for Black Panther. It was too late for them. Idris Elba still could have done it. Idris Elba still could have been an older Jon Stewart and done it, whatever. He's a little older, so you wouldn't have been able to get too many movies out of him, so it would have been tough. You could have went with Denzel Washington's son. He's about to be in the movie Tenet. Tenet looks amazing from the trailer so far. I hope it is. It's a Christopher Nolan film too, and Denzel Washington's son is starting to blow up. He's young. You could have made him Jon Stewart and had him a hard nose Jon Stewart and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, casting choices: Cyborg was great, Wonder Woman was great. Ben Affleck as Batman was the best Batman since Michael Keaton. There's no doubt about it. You can love Christian Bale and what he did in that. Michael Keaton was the best Bruce Wayne and Batman mix. Ben Affleck was an Arkham-style Batman with violence, cold-heartedness as Bruce Wayne. Just he still was a businessman though, and knew he could buy everything because he's rich as hell. But he was an Arkham fighting type, just Batman, violence, everything. All of it was great. Like I said, Wonder Woman, Aquaman was Jason Momoa was great. Man of Steel, Henry Cavill, he still needs to be Superman. He's the best Superman since Christopher Reeves. Period. The first two Christopher Reeves movies. Everything after the first two Richard Donner version and the Superman 1 with Christopher Reeves were good. Everything after that he did with Superman 3, 4, whatever it was, they sucked. Superman Returns absolutely sucked. Sucked. So Henry Cavill was the best Superman since then. Martian Manhunter. I loved how Zack Snyder had plans for the general guy in Batman vs. Superman when he was fighting Doomsday. The general guy that was on the phone with the president was supposed to be Martian Manhunter. It was revealed. I would have loved that. I would have loved it if he would have just shapeshifted into Martian Manhunter from Mars or whatever and everything. Like I said, Jon Stewart from Green Lantern, like all those. I wish they would have had all those characters. Ezra Miller hasn't really sold me yet on, even during Justice League, when Batman went to recruit him, he didn't sell me. He wasn't selling me. He was okay, but he wasn't selling me as Barry Allen. And like, I wasn't sold yet. He could change my mind still, but the problem with DC's cinematic universe though. It was all out of order. It was all a mess, out of order. Man of Steel started it. It should have been Man of Steel, which was a good start to this universe. It was a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 if you're a Superman fan. It was a good movie. It's rewatchable. I love it. Good start. Should have been Wonder Woman right after that. Wonder Woman should have came out with Pageant and Gal Gadot right after that, after Superman. Then done a Aquaman movie. Then done a Cyborg and Martian Manhunter movie. Or a Cyborg and Jon Stewart movie together. Do a duo. Have them be a duo in it. Then do... Maybe Martian Manhunter doesn't necessarily need a movie, so skip his. But Jon Stewart and Cyborg, I'll go with that. Should have been next. Then you should have done Batman versus Superman. Then you would have already had and the guest appearance by Wonder Woman still. You could have went with that but got rid of Doomsday out of the plot completely and just made it a shortened version where Lex kidnapped his mother, just kept it where it would focus on Batman absolutely hating Superman for his fight versus Zod, and that fight, and Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill do their thing as actors and do their thing as fighting, action, blah, blah, blah. You could have done that. It would have been received so much better. And then bring Wonder Woman in instead of fighting Doomsday. Doomsday should have never been in that movie. It was crap when he brought in because everybody was already tuned out on how long the movie was. When Doomsday came in, they were like, "Oh my God! Now they got to fight this guy. How long is this movie? Is this movie gonna be over yet? It was too long. Take him out completely." Lex Luthor. I hated Lex Luthor. He should have been Bryan Cranston. It should have been somebody casted better as Lex Luthor, more sinister and vicious, and maybe with the maybe him get the kryptonite, maybe stab Superman, something like that. Stuff like that. Like Doomsday, never in it. Batman, Superman only. Focus on that fight. Wonder Woman could have came in and broke it up. And then maybe Batman and Superman team up for a second, fight Wonder Woman because they didn't know who she was. Maybe she was working for Lex. Anything like that. Anything would have been better than what was given. So, it's rewatchable, but it's just too long. But then do the Suicide Squad. but that mess they made with Suicide Squad it pissed me off. It pissed me off so much. I'm gonna be honest. The Suicide Squad, I like the Suicide Squad. I like their characters. That Jared Leto's Joker, if you would have explained him to be not the real Joker and an imposter Joker, Jason Todd even, it would have been better received. And because we know, okay, he's not the real Joker. Maybe make Harley hate whoever this imposter is and make that the side story of Suicide Squad. Enchantress should have never been the villain ever. She was part of the squad. Enchantress is part of the squad in the comics, guys. And even if she's not, she has her own agenda sometimes, but she still helps them and part of the squad and works for Amanda Waller. Like, she should have never been the villain. It was a terrible villain. You could have went with a bunch of other people. You could have went with Vandal Savage. You could have went with King Shark. You could have went with all these other characters that Suicide Squad could have made a good movie. It would have been better. The characters were okay though in it, but no, like you release that after all those I just named, and that setup. Then after Suicide Squad, do the real Joker, Joaquin Phoenix. Maybe, I know he wanted to do his own thing with Joker and everything. Now they're wanting to pay him billions of dollars, millions of dollars just to come back and do one more sequel for it or whatever. Joker was absolutely amazing. It's up there on the Dark Knight level and like just Christopher Nolan trilogy. It's up there. It's up there as the best DC movie. Seriously, it was just so good. Joaquin Phoenix knocked it out of the park. That could have been the real Joker, and it showed him at the end. And DC could have stepped in and said, "Okay, as a credit scene, as an end credit scene, you've done your Joker movie now." And you show him in rehab or in a Arkham Asylum or whatever, and maybe showed a clip of just Jared Leto's Joker hearing that he's or him breaking out, just done a little in credit twist showing that he's coming to take his city back as the prince of crime. Anything to make it look like, okay, that's the real Joker. Like, you know, you could have done anything better. It would have been anything better than Jared Leto's version. That being said, then after that, you could have done, I think they should have done then set it up in some of those movies too, also as end credits or whatever. Maybe done Wonder Woman 2, Aquaman 2, done your thing, a Batman solo movie. Batman solo movie like it's coming out pretty soon. Then, and set up in those three movies a dark side. Like a dark side, there's your villain, there's your Thanos type thing or whatever. Then done the Justice League movie correctly and had it about Apocalypse, and maybe the Justice League either having to go to Apocalypse, like or maybe Darkseid coming to Earth and landing and taking over half of a country or whatever, and stationed with his ship and his parademons and yada yada yada. You could have had a better movie. Steppenwolf and the Justice League movie was absolutely awful. That I would rewatch Suicide Squad, and I would rewatch Batman vs Superman, and I would rewatch anything that is crap DC. I would rewatch Birds of Prey. That movie should have never been released, ever. Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn was absolutely terrible. Wonder Woman showed you how to do a women's empowerment and a women's movie, and Birds of Prey and Harley Quinn movie basically shit on it because that was terrible. There was you could have just made a Harley Quinn movie as a side experiment project with women in it, Black Canary and everything, but set up some character development so we actually cared about them and liked them and whatever, and not made Black Mask come off as whatever he was. He was not Black Mask, whatever that was that Ewan McGregor was in, and Victor Zsasz that was in it as his right-hand man. I don't know what that was. That's not Victor Zsasz. Victor Zsasz is an insane murderer and cuts himself after he murders each victim. He's violent. You made him, I don't know what he was in that, a right hand to Black Mass maid service or whatever it was. not a killer, really. So, anyways, that movie was terrible. Never released that. It should have never released that ever. Justice League movie should have had Darkseid as a villain. Would have been received better. Everyone would have went to see it. As long as it was a good plot and a good, and we've already had, and that order of what I just said would have been a better order of things, and everybody would have already, like the Marvel Universe, loved all these DC characters, loved all these DC movies before. They would have loved them already and already been established, and you would have actually cared for them and liked them going into when they fight Darkseid and the bad guy, like a Thanos type villain. Marvel and DC are very similar if you really think about it. DC's just got better stories, but they're a little cornier to the adult. They're a little cornier, a little cheesier, I guess you could say. But they have better stories, better plots, and source material from the comics than Marvel ever would. They really do. They just don't know how to put it on a big screen and where it's accepted by. But they're very similar on Darkseid being the big bad Thanos. Thanos and Darkseid are, everybody that always say Thanos and Darkseid are similar or comparable. They're not. They're not at all. Darkseid is a conqueror and a absolute monster and a vicious torturer, and he alters people. He cuts their limbs off and alters them. He brainwashes people. He does everything for him to be in control of everything. He wants everything destroyed. He wants the Green Lantern Corps destroyed. He wants the Kryptonians, Superman destroyed. Like he wants to exhaust your natural resources on every planet and everything. While as Thanos had a mission to get the Infinity Gauntlet to set a balance in the universe. He was not looking to conquer. He was a conqueror, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't looking to take over the whole universe and bend to his will and everything like that. He was just trying to be out on a mission, get the stones, set it right, wipe out half the universe, go retire, whatever. His mission is complete. He had a will. And he had Josh Brolin killed that role. That was best Thanos. Anyway, that's another video. But Darkseid and Thanos are not the same at all. At all. If you really think about it hard. Anyway, this was a longer video, guys. I'm sorry. That's the DC Universe. That's your inner nerd. Everybody that's a fan of the DC Universe. If you want to agree or comment or talk to me and debate me or think what you think, and if you think I'm correct or anything, just hit me up. I will definitely respond and everything and talk to you on social media and stuff. DC is a mess. They need to get it right. Flash needs to come in and do a Flashpoint and start it all over, or whatever they need to do. I don't care. They need to get it right, because I would love to see DC characters still on the live action screen. I don't want them to ever end. I like the Marvel and DC both equally. I'll do the Marvel video next. Hopefully y'all stick around. I'm so sorry that this was a longer video, but you knew it's a lot of content to cover. So that being said, thank you guys, and y'all have a wonderful Saturday.